Hi there! Welcome to my 2018 bullet journal setup. As this is my second video on YouTube, please forgive me for the few times my hair wasn't in the shot. Also, please keep in mind that this is my first bullet journal, so I've just joined the community and creating content. Well, that's enough rambling for now. Let's get into the details of my spreads. So as you can see, I've already written the January header in a brush pen. I use a brush pen I purchased from Daiso with dual tip, and also you can see in the shot that I'm just using some Sakura Colour watercolor paints to paint my monthly theme. So for this month, I decided to go with the color green because I decided to use evergreen trees as the main illustration. So on the top left corner, you can see a 3D printed turtle that I modeled holding down the page for my color reference on the Sakura Colour sketchbox watercolor. I like to have all of my supplies in the reference cards so that I know what color they will be. And then here I'm just slowly painting in the leaves and details. And also you can see in the shot I have a little test pad for the colors, because you never know what the color will turn out on paper. And there's my hair. So for the idea on the spread, I first struggled quite a bit since, well, this is my first bullet journal and I did want to make something illustrative but also minimal enough for me to keep up. And I looked on some Pinterest boards and something just clicked when I thought, hey, evergreen trees would be great. And so the paper I painted on is the CANSON XL mixed media paper in 160 grams. It's not the best paper for holding watercolor, but it is what it is. And here I already skipped this process of me cutting it out and scanning, and now I'm just pasting it into the first page of my January setup. As you can see, I struggle a little bit because I wasn't sure where to place it, and then I just trimmed the edges off. And now I'm moving to my tracker page. So you may wonder why my tracker page is right next to my title page, and that's because I have calculated everything in terms of my spreads for what I need and how many pages I can have per month. And it just turned out that this will be the best for me. So for my tracker page, I have a habit tracker on the left side, and that's a horizontal setup, and I have a finances tracker on the right side with the vertical setup. And on my habit tracker, I have the items down as exercise, stretch, daily practice, daily study, reading a book, and my art page. And moving on to the next page, that's my monthly spread, which is usually what follows the title page. But anyways, first just doing the title of this month and just going over the pencil lines already created. And with this monthly setup, I wanted to keep it minimal but still illustrative. So I just used some full calligraphy for the days of the week and just a number for each day. I didn't do any vertical lines because I thought that would be too boxy and too destructive. And then on the left side, I left a little space for a tiny January monthly setup, and also a little section for the task that I have to do for this month. And right now I'm just using the MUJI 0.38 gel pen in the color green. Is it green? It doesn't say on my pen. And then after that I'm just outlining the days of the week with the numbers of the week with one of my Crayola super tips, which is a really popular choice for bullet journal community. And now just grab the same brush pen I used to create all the calligraphy titles to draw in some evergreen trees. It looks kind of sketchy and messy, but you know, I'm going for that look and feel. I am a perfectionist, so I do want things to look perfect, but when it comes to things like this, I feel like imperfection has its own perfection. And moving on to the next page. This page is a spread for a January summary, and I just used the Crayola super tip to do the title. So this is actually a page I drawn from inspiration from the channel My Life in a Bullet. She did something like 4 lines a day, and it's essentially a brief summary of every single day of the month in the setup. And also at the bottom right I have a gratitude section to keep in mind that, you know, you always have to be grateful for what you have in life. I thought that this page was really helpful for me since I've always tried to do journaling or diary entries. I attempted many times in the past, but I just never found a way to keep it up because after, I want to say like a week or 2 weeks, I just find that it's too time consuming to write down everything in a day. So 2 lines, simple enough and easy to keep up. And next page I have my first weekly setup for January. So I actually filmed this on January 7th, which is the last day of the week on this week. So this setup was already past due. And the reason for that is because, oh gosh, the lighting was just not the best. It was gloomy and raining the whole week until Sunday. And also Sunday I finally had some time to sit down and had some time for myself. So that's when I filmed this, but everything was already pre-planned. So here I already did a kind of like 4 columns in the spread. 2 tiny sections for the columns on the sides and 2 bigger ones in the middle for the tasks of each week. And also I had a little note section on the bottom for me to keep in mind of the tasks I have to complete. And on the left side, it's a box for me to write down my daily events. And I actually forgot what the box was for until the very end, so it was kind of last minute, very rushed. And then flipping to the next page, I have the second setup for January. So this was supposed to be the first week setup. Unfortunately, I realized that I drew it 1 page after, so this became the second week setup. And I used it in kind of like a post-it note format. Since I still am not sure what kind of setup would suit my needs, I'm just trying out a bunch of different ones to see how they would collaborate with my current life. And I also use the same brush pen to do the lettering for every single day, and also a little tiny section for a monthly calendar. Then I use the same super tip color to do the shadowing, and also use my gray super tips to do some more illustrative evergreen trees. And then later on I use the same super tip to do a little section off for my daily events on every single little box, since I do have a lot of events almost every single day that I have to be aware of. And then just erasing the pencil marks off and moving on to the next page. So here you can see me setting up a little portion of it. Unfortunately, my camera died, so I didn't realize that it was done until I finished the setup. Well, that concludes my January bullet journal monthly setup. I hope you liked the theme I decided to go with, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I will be posting more bullet journaling and illustration videos in the future. Bye! Have a nice day!